Hi there, LinkedIn family. Jonathan here from Some Talented People, from Potency.world, and from Social Me Too, the broadest generalization of a portfolio executive that you will find. So we're jumping ahead quite fast. I'm going to include any TED Talks that are relevant and Marianne's website at the bottom in the notes so that you can actually buy the book from her website. So we've jumped ahead to chapter 6 even. It's called Conversational Manspreading: How Men Hog the Floor. And man, I'm guilty of this. um There is no form of privilege men deploy more frequently, more casually, and more unself-consciously than their assumed divine right to talk, to monologue, to mansplain, to interrupt, to say whatever's on their minds, whilst without considering the differences. Deborah Cameron, Professor of Language and Communication. So Marianne has written, maybe it's because I'm a woman or maybe it's because I'm a journalist, but if I sit down next to a man at a dinner party, I immediately start drawing him out. It's polite and a good way of instigating a conversation. What really irks me though is that, and it happens all too often, he doesn't ask me a single question in return. Once I had an exhaustive every conversational avenue with a man on my right and had discovered everything there was to know about his life, his career, and his family. Over at least 45 minutes, I finally lost my patience. Well, it's been lovely hearing all about you, I said, smiling sweetly, but according to conversational etiquette, now it's time to ask what do I do? He exclaimed. What do I do? Well, and started explaining about himself again. So this comes from that thing that even in primary school, because boys shout out and are not silenced in the way that girls are. Because you see, young girls, we condition them to be polite and smile and to take an interest and not to stand up or make a scene or refuse to do something. And what that breeds is, it breeds an environment whereby boys, therefore young men, then middle-aged men like myself, we get into a situation whereby we have so made it an everyday situation where we, as it says, this divine right to talk. We genuinely believe we have this divine right to talk. Now, interestingly, I was talking just the other day to a friend of mine, and in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey, I believe. Anyway, there's a line at the back of that book which, whoa, when I learnt it, I went, ah. So I am a bit like Marianne in that when I sit down with people, I like to ask them lots of questions because to me, it allows me to understand them better. But anyway, that's me. So it says on the back of that book, it says, listen compassionately, respond emotionally. And I went, oh, and this was only a couple of years ago, so maybe 48 before I actually had that piece of information to put into practice. So a person is telling you their worries, their concerns, their woes, whatever it may be, maybe something beautiful or happy, you never know. But essentially, a good listener listens with compassion. So eye contact, nods, the occasional recap to check understanding, listening and hearing the emotion that's being felt by the person speaking to you. And then you simply respond with an identification of the emotion you think they're feeling. So the person says, oh, Jonathan, really bad, it's really stressful. We go, oh, yeah, it is really a difficult time at the moment. That sounds really stressful. And they go, it is. And in that simple act, they felt heard. So men talk too much, we jump in too much. I fight with myself every day to not do so, but there you go. What we're going to do. Certainly buy the book. Buy it from Marianne's website. I'll put the links in the channel below, and I will include a secrets TED Talk in the notes as well. So have a good day. Be good. I'll see you in another video tomorrow.